Crypto has gone mainstream, but what impact will it have on the environment? Colorado is the first state to announce that it will accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as payment for taxes. Colorado Springs, CO, according to Digiconomist, the carbon footprint of a single Bitcoin transaction, which can take several minutes to complete, is equivalent to the power consumption of an average US household for 77 days. That same transaction is worth more than 2.7 million Visa card transactions or 200,000 hours of YouTube viewing. Bitcoin has a carbon footprint of 114 megatons per year, equivalent to the Czech Republic, and consumes the same 200 terawatt-hours of power as Thailand, a country of nearly 70 million people. Regardless, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are on the verge of becoming mainstream in Colorado. Governor Jared Polis announced on February 25 that Colorado will be the first state in the country to accept cryptocurrency for tax payments, raising the question of what further cryptocurrency expansion might mean for the environment. An executive order signed by President Joe Biden on Wednesday calling for a more thorough examination of cryptocurrencies also seeks to reduce cryptocurrencies' environmental impact, indicating that the technology has a bright future. Cryptocurrency, for those who have successfully avoided that side of the internet, is a type of digital money that is represented by computer code and uses encryption technology to ensure its security. The blockchain, an unavoidable term when discussing cryptocurrency, is a digital ledger that records cryptocurrency transactions. When it comes to Bitcoin, the most popular cryptocurrency, miners compete every 10 minutes to solve a complex mathematical puzzle for the right to add blocks of transactions to the ledger. The fastest puzzle solvers are currently rewarded with 6.25 newly created Bitcoins, which is equivalent to $245,000. According to Mandy DeRoche, an attorney with Earth Justice, the rise in popularity of cryptocurrency has resulted in a noticeable increase in energy use and fossil fuel consumption, resulting in higher carbon emissions across the country. What we've seen in New York over the last few years is that fossil-fueled power plants that were not operating or were only operating on a limited basis are coming back online, DeRoche said. They're now on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. According to DeRoche, coal waste plants in Pennsylvania are ramping up operations, and coal waste plants in Montana have reopened. Those are emissions that are destroying the planet, DeRoche said. There are crypto miners who use renewable energy in part. I'm not aware of any who use it entirely because solar doesn't run 24 hours a day. The economic incentive here is to always be mining. As with homes, cars, and other infrastructure, there aren't enough renewables in the United States yet to power cryptocurrency mining operations sustainably, according to DeRoche. Adding another massive load, such as proof-of-work cryptocurrency mining, will completely destabilize everything. Bitcoin and Ether, the two most important cryptocurrencies, which account for roughly 60% of the sector's market cap, use proof-of-work algorithms. These models are largely responsible for cryptocurrency's substantial carbon footprint and energy consumption. Cryptocurrency transactions and businesses use one of two models, proof of work or proof of stake. Miners compete to solve a mathematical puzzle in proof of work. Thieves are discouraged from attempting to sabotage or hijack the blockchain because doing so would necessitate them spending more time, energy, and money than at least 51% of other miners. Proof of stake is a newer, more energy-efficient algorithm in which miners stake digital coins in exchange for the opportunity to validate blockchain transactions. They lose the coins they've invested if they don't verify transactions accurately. While some critics believe proof of work is obsolete, Bitcoin supporters believe proof of stake is more centralized and less secure. One of those critics is Jeremy Epstein. He works as an investor relations officer for Open Forest Protocol, a startup that hopes to use cryptocurrency and blockchain technology to create carbon offset markets by registering land plots and forestation projects on the blockchain for verification and trading. In the last 5 years, no cryptocurrency project has used a proof-of-work model. It is a model that is no longer in use, Patch spoke with Epstein. Being Bitcoin, it will almost certainly remain a proof-of-work protocol in perpetuity, and Bitcoin mining is almost certainly the single largest contributor to crypto-based emissions. Bitcoin emissions, according to Epstein, will eventually decrease. 90% of Bitcoin has already been mined, but because mining becomes more difficult over time, the last Bitcoin will not be mined until around 2140, according to Reuters, though determining when the last Bitcoin might be mined is not exactly a straightforward equation. According to Epstein, future increases in processing power for mining and the number of miners may work against the increasing complexity of mining over time. Bitcoin has a limited number of tokens. We know there are 21 million Bitcoins in existence at any given time, no more can be created, Epstein explained. And then transactions are still verified using proof of work, but I believe that overall, Bitcoin emissions should fall. The proof of work model was also used by Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency. However, the company is currently planning to transition its Ether token to proof of stake. According to Epstein, the switch will reduce Ethereum's energy consumption and carbon footprint significantly. I believe it will reduce its energy consumption by roughly 99% when it does that, Epstein said. The date for which Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to occur, I believe that has been pushed back a few times, as switching a network to a completely new system is not a small task, but that should occur within the next 2 years. And when that happens, Ethereum will go from a total energy consumption, equivalent to 800,000 US households to around 427 US households, it reduces its emissions per transaction by 99%. According to Epstein, the biggest environmental impact of cryptocurrency is in proof-of-work protocols. He claims that competitors to Bitcoin and Ethereum, dubbed altcoins, are now on the rise. Proof of stake is becoming more popular, and all of these are based on it. The industry changed in a blink of an eye. Simply put, proof of stake is more effective. Again, it's been 5 years since anyone has built anything significant on a proof-of-work platform. Apart from the prospect of a growing market for less impactful cryptocurrencies, Epstein believes that there's a very good chance the crypto industry supports climate solutions that end up achieving massively beneficial results for the climate, and those beneficial results far outweigh any negative effects that crypto has on the environment over time. According to Epstein, cryptocurrency has recently transferred approximately 80% of the world's carbon credits to blockchain technology. A carbon credit is essentially a permit that entitles its holder to a certain amount of greenhouse gas emissions. What this does is it removes poor quality offsets from the market so that corporate emitters can't claim net zero by buying the most poor quality carbon offsets available. It raises the floor so that they have to buy carbon offsets at a higher price, which drives corporate entities to reduce their emissions more deeply before going and purchasing offsets, Epstein explained. They delve deeper into their manufacturing processes and the carbon market. So this is having real-world consequences, but I believe we are only scratching the surface right now. Colorado's decision to accept cryptocurrency payments for taxes is yet another step towards further normalizing the technology, which could eventually lead to more environmental and fiscal regulation for cryptocurrencies. Crypto acceptance in Colorado is just another small domino in an unstoppable wave of crypto eating the world, Epstein said. When it comes to who is using cryptocurrency now, the adoption curves are essentially analogous to internet adoption in 1998. and it almost exactly follows the Internet's adoption curve. Consider what the Internet has done for us. This is the new Internet, and it should continue to march forwards to the point where everyone is accessing goods and services using blockchain technology, and they may or may not even realize it, and that is the most important thing.